Good afternoon. Welcome to the 330 Sports Show. My name is Justin Coffin. Today is September 4th, 2025. Across from me, as you can see on camera, we have Casey Santoro, a new Youngstown State guard. We're going to get into like what you're planning on, what you're playing this year, stuff like that. But welcome to Youngstown.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
You like it so far?
Yes, it's honestly a great experience so far. So.
That's awesome. So we were just talking before we went on air, obviously coming from Fort Myers, playing there the last couple years. What was the, is this weather back shocking, or you like it?
It's refreshing, but I definitely miss the sun. And I think I had a tan till like November. So I'm already losing my tan, but it's refreshing to be here. Okay.
Very good. So I'm going to just give a little bio, a little background on, just so people get to know you a little bit. But so is Bellevue, is that the 419 area code? Yep. Okay. All right. So Casey has attended Bellevue High School, where you guys won 4 league titles and 2 district titles. I looked at your career numbers at Bellevue. So 2,156 points.
Yes.
That's awesome. You are also the school's all-time leader in assists, steals, and 3-point field goals. Pretty decent career, I'd say so. But there you played for your dad.
Yes.
How cool is that?
It was awesome. Some people don't like playing for their father, but I got to play with my dad and my younger sister, who's a year younger. So that was quite the experience. I'm very grateful for that. And I would say I learned a lot. And just I was blessed to have the relationship I did with my dad as a coach and a daughter. So. Yeah,
I was going to say sometimes like your dad can be probably your biggest fan and your biggest critic at the same time. So I'm sure those drives to and from practice had to be some interesting.
There were some intense talks after practice, and it would definitely go home. We didn't leave it at the gym, but it honestly made me better. So
yeah, it makes you a better player and probably builds your relationship long term as well. So that's awesome. So you start out with a great high school career. And this year you obviously you're a YSU Penguin, but before that, you were at, 2 different Division I schools at Kent State University, right up the road here, and then Florida Gulf Coast. So tell us a little bit about those experiences and how it molded you into the player you are today.
Yeah, so I chose Kent State coming out of high school. Have you heard of Classic in the Country?
I have. So
that's actually basically where I got interest from Kent State, and then I went on a visit, and I kind of knew I loved it. I'm like, I want to go here. I love that it was close to home. Yeah. And Coach Starkey and their staff were very welcoming. And I've always basically played for a male my whole life. And I kind of wanted that going into college. And I just liked his intensity and the atmosphere and just the area, honestly. Like I said, being close to home was kind of something I prioritized coming out of high school. Yeah. Because I definitely don't think I would have been able to go to Florida out of high school because I'm really close with my family.
Sure.
So I honestly had a great 3 years there, made a lot of friends, made a lot of connections. We were overall pretty solid. So that was fun. And then I decided to transfer after my 3rd year. I graduated in 3 years there with a undergrad in business. And so my older sister actually played at BG in Ohio State, and she grad transferred.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So being the younger sister, I kind of wanted to follow in her footsteps and try to experience something new. And that's when the transfer portal was, all the rules were basically whatever you wanted it to be. So I didn't really have any repercussions for not doing for graduating. I was like, all right, I'll grad transfer. So went to Florida Gulf Coast. Actually, my older sister visited Florida Gulf Coast when she was in the portal, and I went with her, and I really wanted her to go there, but she ended up going to Ohio State, which kind of can't pass that up. But I ended up going there, and I played for a really great coach who's actually in the WNBA right now. So I learned a ton. We were extremely successful. So I would say
30-3 last year, weren't you?
Yeah. Yes. So I would say I learned so much from both of my coaches and experiences, but I would say it's pretty cool to say I played for a WNBA coach.
Oh, yeah. That's great. That's fantastic. So in your college career so far, 905 points, so hoping to get to that 1,000-point mark for sure. 236 assists with only 137 turnovers, so almost a 2-to-1 ratio there. 133 three-pointers, 80 steals, And as we said, last year on a 30-win team that went to the tournament, which is a huge deal. And then we talked beforehand too. The coolest thing I saw looking up your stuff and your info, in 2021, you became the first female or first basketball player in Kent Golden State Golden Flash history to have a triple double. So what was that experience like? What do you remember who it was against?
Yeah, it was actually, so it's kind of funny. My little sister, she played at Clarion.
Okay.
So it was actually against my little sister's team.
That's awesome.
So kind of funny, and basically the whole town of Bellevue was at the game to watch both of us. So it's a pretty memorable game. And one of my great friends to this day, Bridget Dunn, I remember I needed one assist and I passed it to her and she made the 3. So kind of a really cool memory to have. But
that is great.
It was awesome. Yeah.
That's very cool. So, I mean, an illustrious career. So you bring a ton of experience with you to Youngstown State. What was it about Youngstown State, Coach Jackson, the atmosphere? I mean, obviously you're an Ohio girl. Yeah. So, but what was it that made you say, hey, Youngstown State's the place for me?
So ironically enough, I have visited Youngstown 3 times.
Okay.
So out of high school, out of the transfer portal the first time, and then obviously this time around. I was very familiar with Coach Jackson as I played against her when I was at Kent. So that was one thing. I knew she was successful, and I've always heard great things about her.
Yeah.
So going anywhere, you obviously want to really like your head coach.
Right.
And then just from visiting 3 times, I always thought the area was really nice, and I think the campus itself is kind of slept on, and it has a lot to offer. So I thought I could be happy here, and just I'm 2 hours from home, so that was something. Being far away from home, it would be nice to finish my last year close to home, and my family could come and watch me. So
anyone that doesn't know where Bellevue is, that's kind of close to the Sandusky area.
Yeah,
Cedar Point.
Cedar Point is what I tell everybody, because nobody's really ever heard of it.
And I think because I've been on the turnpike a lot up that way, it's like the birthplace of like Thomas Edison or somebody's like right there as well too. But yeah, right easy drive up the turnpike from Youngstown. So that's really cool. What age were you? Obviously, being a coach's kid, you were probably in the gym a ton. And obviously you said your sisters played basketball, so you're from a big basketball family. When did you think, hey, I'm like pretty good at this? Like, I'm pretty good at basketball. When did that click for you, maybe?
I would say maybe in middle school.
Okay.
Then definitely in high school, I realized if I wanted to be on varsity with my dad being the head coach, that I needed to prove to people that I deserved to be there, because it would look bad on him just putting your daughter on varsity. But so I wanted to make it clear that I deserved to be there. So I'd say maybe I kind of realized it in middle school, but definitely in high school, I knew I needed to stand out.
Yeah.
So
okay. So for anybody that doesn't know, you're what, 5'4", 5'5"? Is that about right?
5'4".
So 5'4", and you're playing Division I basketball. So to be let's just say undersized.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock. Actually, to me, I think being 5'4", that means you are elite at other things. So being an undersized guard, getting to the Division I level, scoring more than 2,000 points in high school, what did you feel like you have to put in extra work, or what, did that motivate you at all to, get to the next level?
I would definitely say it motivated me. My older sister's 5'9", so people would definitely compare us a lot, and my younger sister's about my size. So they would compare us a lot, but I kind of realized when I wasn't going to grow anymore that I had to just become really good at certain things and make that my advantage. So I would say just becoming a really good shooter was something that has helped me, and a ball handler and a passer, because every team needs that. And then just being a fly on defense. A lot of people don't like playing against pressure, and you need defense to win games. So, and then also something you don't even realize is just being lower to the ground than a lot of people. So when they dribble, I'm right there.
That's true.
Sometimes
quick hands.
Yes. So sometimes you might think it's a negative to be short, but there's definitely positives to what God gave you.
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah. You've made the most of your ability for sure.
Yes.
So the NCAA transfer portal.
Yep.
So you've been in it twice.
Yes.
And obviously you were you entered college through the COVID. You've lived the COVID period.
Yeah.
So that kind of gave you a nice free year, which was nice.
Yes.
But you've also dealt with injuries. Before we get into the injury and the COVID stuff, I do want to ask, what is it like putting your name in the transfer portal and maybe not knowing if a destination you want to go to is going to want to take you, or if they have a spot available, or so what's that like, the unknown of that?
It's definitely nerve-wracking, and you're definitely betting on yourself. I would say the first time around, I felt that I had decent enough stats and that I came from a good enough program that I was like, somebody would want to take a chance on me. I didn't really know if it would be lower or higher, but I felt that I had a good enough background. It's just there's so many people that enter the portal that you don't know, and so many people get stuck. And then when I would ask my AU coaches or just people that had been in the portal, they kind of said the negative sides of it, and I was to just let me know, which I needed to know before going in. But it's kind of like you just have to bet on yourself and believe in yourself, and it's kind of just what I went with.
Sure. No, that's great. I'm so curious about that. We've had some football players in here and some men's basketball players in here that have been through the transfer portal, and I feel like a lot of them say that same thing. You have to believe in yourself, just bet on yourself.
And it's kind of crazy because the interest I had compared to when I was in high school to when I was in the portal both times, like it skyrocketed. So it's just kind of crazy. Like people didn't want you the first time around, but they actually see what you can do in college and stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, maybe she would be a good fit for our program. So that was really interesting too.
That's awesome. So taking some things you learned from Kent and from Florida Gulf Coast, what kind of, how have some of those experiences like shaped you? You know, you've worked with different teammates, different coaches. What do you think that will bring to your new Youngstown State teammates, to your new Youngstown State coaches?
I would say overall, I think what I've taken from each school is it is about winning and losing games, and I'm honestly one of the most competitive people, but I think how you make a teammate feel is something you and they will always remember. So I just want to make sure that I can be a great teammate to them and a lifelong friend, and also just a leader. I've been in college for 6 years, so I know a lot, and I know that each teammate's different in their own way. So just kind of figuring out each person and how to lead them differently is, I would say.
That's great. And you've had your share of adversity. You had a pretty major injury.
Yes.
So, you know, whatever you feel comfortable sharing, can you share a little bit about that experience?
Yeah. So my first year at Florida Gulf Coast, tore my Achilles. Was it two games in? Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually played in 2 games. And then actually 3 games in. So I played in 3 games. We were getting ready to play Kentucky on a Sunday, and my mom actually happened to be in town, and we had a practice at the rec center, and I just shot faked and stepped back to push off. And right when I pushed off, I tore my Achilles. I thought I ran into the bleachers. I was like, what? How did I get there? And I was like really confused. And then I just started bawling because I kind of knew instantly. And then everybody thought I twisted my ankle, and I'm like, no, like I wouldn't be crying this if I twisted my ankle. So honestly, within a week, I think it was, I got an MRI, and then I had surgery. It was definitely a tough recovery, but I know God wouldn't give me any battle that I can't handle. I would say I learned a lot about myself and just pushing through things.
Sure.
I would say that people told me I wasn't going to come back. I wasn't going to be what I was. And I would say last season was a different experience compared to all my other playing years, just kind of figuring myself out again as a player. But I'm really excited for this year because I feel completely comfortable in like myself. So it's really exciting that I get another year to play again. So
that's great. And so going through that, and you know, like for anybody that watches the NBA, we've seen Jason Tatum, Damian Lillard, Halliburton, I think all went through that just this last playoff cycle. This is becoming an injury that's like not common, but it's out there and people are knowing. And this is way tougher than coming back from an ACL. This is way tougher than coming back from a broken bone. So going through that recovery, What was tougher on you? Was it the mental or the physical side?
That's a great question. I would honestly say there were definitely some physical times where it was really tough, but mentally it's hard. And I think it's more hard towards the end of the journey.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it's definitely hard because I had a leg that looked like a stick. And I was like, how am I going to get this back to what it was? And I could barely move my ankle. And I was like, how is this part affecting me? Mm-hmm. So just realizing that, then once I got back to close to being cleared, I was like, dang, like I don't feel comfortable. And am I going to be the same player I was? Mm-hmm. So I would say that part of it really takes a toll on you and you don't really expect that. But I was blessed with great people that supported me and gave me a lot of confidence and courage. Yeah. So that definitely helped me along the way. But I would say mentally it is harder.
For sure. But it sounds like you have a great support network around you, which is huge for any player, for any athlete. So you're going to be wearing the number 14, I see.
Yep.
Looks like you wore that number plenty in your past. Why? I'm always curious why the players pick the number they picked. Why 14?
So that's a family number.
Mm-hmm.
I think my grandpa or great grandpa started wearing it, and then it just trickled down. So all of my siblings, my dad, everyone has worn it. So it's a special number in my heart.
All your family from the Bellevue area?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, that's great. And you did wear that at Kent too. I saw you wore it at FG.
I wore 0 at Kent.
You wore 0.
Yes.
Okay.
So someone had 14. So I was like, what's another cool number I could be? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
I was called Agent 0.
Okay. I like it. I like that. That's very cool. All right. So we've talked about a rough moment in your basketball career. Give me something that might be like one of your top or favorite memories so far in basketball. That's a tough one to narrow down, but like one thing or a game or a moment or something.
A specific game I remember is when I was at Kent State and we beat UCLA. That was a really cool feeling. Just nobody expected us to win. So that was a specific game. But I would say at FGCU, like winning the championship. So my first year, I obviously didn't get to play. And then we played Oklahoma and we were playing at Indiana in the NCAA tournament. And I was like, wow, this is what every little girl dreams of.
Yeah.
I really hope we can make it here again next year. Because knowing I would be able to play, and then we won again. And then we played Oklahoma again. And I would just say it was a surreal moment being in Oklahoma. And I was like, wow, like I actually got to experience this. This is a dream. So I would say that winning it to playing at Oklahoma and hearing all the fans, it was a really cool atmosphere to be in.
That is great. That's great. And hopefully you have more come in this year as well. So, all right. I want to talk a little bit about NIL. We talked a little bit off air about that before, but what do you think like some of the pros are for NIL? For anyone that doesn't know, I'm sure everybody knows by now, but name, image, likeness. But what do you think? Why do you think that's a good thing for college athletics and like the student athlete? Why is that a good thing?
It's a great thing, I think, because you don't really have time to get a job and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I don't think people really realize all the time and energy and effort that actually goes into your sport along with all the other things you have to do. So I think it's beneficial and it definitely helps a lot of athletes out. I would say that's one of the positives that comes from it. But I also think it can be negative for some people as well.
Sure. Okay. All right. So you're not from Youngstown, but now you live in Youngstown. Yeah. And you have a very Italian last name, which is very Youngstown.
Yeah.
So far, have you gotten to check out any of the local restaurants or businesses? And if so, do you have any favorites? I'm trying to get you an NIL deal here.
Yeah, I would love that. That might be my favorite one. I went to an Italian restaurant with my parents. I can't think of what it was called. Salvatore's.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah.
Look right in that camera and say Salvatore's.
Salvatore's.
There we go.
So we went there and then I went to MVR.
Yeah.
And then we had a golf outing with our team and the Belleria people. but there was a Bellaria at Kent, so I've had it.
Sure.
Loved it. But those are the only 3 places. But I have a list in my apps that I want to go and try because they all have like 4 stars and above. I'm like, I really want to go try them. So,
all right.
Yeah.
So any local business, what's your, give us like an Instagram or Twitter handle for you.
Casey_Santoro.
All right. So any local restaurants, just send her a message. she'll come out and, maybe you guys can work out an NIL deal here.
That'd be great.
So 6th year of college, you obviously already have 1 degree. What are you working on? What are you studying towards to do after basketball, after college?
So when I was at FGCU, I got a master's in special ed and then my teaching license. So
nice.
Here I'm basically just taking classes because I can't really take any more classes.
Sure, yeah.
And I just kind of am done with school in that aspect.
Right.
I've done it a lot. So I'm kind of just taking some psychology classes, but ultimately I want to be a special education teacher.
That's great.
And then potentially coach with my dad. That would be a dream of mine. So
yeah, you have a very teacher demeanor, I can tell. So yeah, you're going to fit right in. You're going to do great things with that. So maybe becoming a teacher in your future, but as a current student athlete, what advice for maybe, a kid that's in, whether they're little kid or whether they're middle school or high school and they want to play for Youngstown State, they want to play for Kent, they want to play in college somewhere. What advice would you give to those, little girls that might be looking up to you, or even like little boys that are like want to play, men's college basketball?
I would just say practice when nobody's looking and believe in yourself and know that you're putting in the time. Not everybody starts at the same spot, so it's also not where you start, it's where you finish. And then just kind of being a student of the game. If you love it, like do what you love. Don't do it for the recognition or all the wrong reasons. Do it because you love it and you have that passion.
Great advice. Very good. Do you have any like rituals or routines you go through, like whether it's practice or game day? And if so, what are some of those things?
In high school, I was very superstitious and I had to eat a grilled cheese and a half with apples and pickles every game. Then I would have Skittles at halftime.
Okay.
But in college, I've tried to not be as superstitious, but I do usually have my hair braided every game. Sometimes we run out of time and a teammate can't do it, but I would say that's usually the only thing in college that I do. So
I was gonna say that's got to be a teammate doing that, right? That would take a long time. Okay, that's cool though. I like that. Some of your basketball role models, obviously your dad is one of them and your siblings. Outside of your family, who are some of your basketball role models?
Okay. I would say I love Michael Jordan. I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan. Just his competitive nature and his mindset about things. I feel like I'm obviously not even close to being Michael Jordan, but that's kind of what I try to put in my mind and go about things.
And you might be a better 3-point shooter than him.
Maybe. I also I love Kelsey Plum. I think she's a great player. She's currently playing, so that's a current role model. And then also Steph Curry. He's a undersized guard who's a great shooter. Just try to replicate things in his game. And then Caitlin Clark. I'm a huge Caitlin Clark fan. So
all those 4 people you just listed are all super sweet, nice people, great people off the court and on the court. They have a switch and they are killers. So that's you? Would that describe you? You're sweet and nice off the court. When you get on the court, you're tough?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay. Would your teammates agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would think so.
Okay. All right. Very good. So we're kind of getting to know you a little bit as a basketball player. So for anyone that maybe didn't see you play at Kent or down in Florida, what kind of basketball player is Youngstown State getting?
I would say they're getting a tough, hard-nosed player, a leader, shooter, likes to play defense, very competitive and fiery, and likes to win.
Okay. All good attributes. We love it. What would be, if you had to single out one part of your game that would be like the strongest and one part of your game that maybe not necessarily the weakest, but something you want to improve throughout this season, what are those 2 things? See, you're going through an interview right now.
Yeah.
This is like some questions you're going to get for personality outside of basketball.
part of my game that's the weakest, I would say that's maybe not specifically the game, but it could affect it, is maybe just mindset of things and not letting myself get too high or too low or too angry about things. Like I said, I'm very competitive, so sometimes I can let my emotions get the best of me mentally. I would never get like a technical or anything like that, but just kind of in my own mind, keeping my own cool and like next play and forgetting about it. And then something strength, I would say shooting or defense.
Okay.
And just kind of continuing to get even better at those.
For sure. Okay. I love it. All right. So pressure. Pressure is very different depending on the player you are, the position you're playing, maybe the role you're in. But pressure, everyone's got to deal with it, whether it's your head coach, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of your teammates, whether it's you. How do you handle pressure? And like you said, that mental side is so important. Like, so let me give an example. So like you're going to the free throw line. It's a close game. What are you thinking as you're stepping up to the line?
Sometimes I'll just talk to myself, or sometimes I'll say a little prayer like, God, help me make this shot. But also just if I was in that situation, kind of knowing all the practice of all the foul shots I have shot my whole entire life, just kind of trusting in myself that, hey, you've done this before. This is just another shot.
Yep. I love it. So just like, I mean, it seems like you keep going back to that too. Believe in yourself. That's so important. A lot of times I've had a few golfers on the show, and like, they tell me like the reason they're good at golf is because they're visualizing things. And like, that's something like, I think that people that aren't high level athletes can't relate to. You have to visualize that success, whether it's the ball going through the hoop or whether it's like, hitting a drive right down the fairway. So do you incorporate any of that, like whether it's pregame or during the game?
Yes, before the game, I always like to visualize myself doing things or just making good plays. My dad actually always, when we were younger, told us that's what he did. So that's kind of something I guess he taught us to do, but that's something I definitely do before my games.
Definitely. It's definitely a good habit to get in. All right, let's get into some, we'll get into a little bit of outside of basketball too. So what are some of your outside interests? We talked a little bit about that beforehand, but like, what are some of the things you like to do off the court?
Well, obviously I mentioned that I'm really close with my family, so I love being with them, spending time with them, but I love playing pickleball, just going for walks, kind of doing active things. Yeah. And then I would say I like shopping, the beach, but there's not really many beaches around here, especially at this time. So kind of outdoorsy things. And then I also love like a good coffee shop or trying new food. So those are kind of some of my hobbies, I would say.
Okay. Stone Fruit. We know some of the people at Stone Fruit. There's another girl, NIL, right here. Look her up. So, and you mentioned pickleball a little bit, right? Yes. So, is that something that you like? I don't know, Coach Jackson. Some of your former coaches, they might not love you doing that in season. Is that something that's like an off-season hobby, or can you do that during the season too? A little cross training, maybe.
Maybe. I think I would have to find an indoor spot here probably eventually, but I would say when I was in Fort Myers, we would go and play during season, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. Just handle the season. So, so for people that, they're like, they see you guys on the court during the season, but they don't see all the work that goes into building a team and all the preparation, whether it's individual skill work or you guys as a team or watching film or like, so take us through a little bit about what you guys are doing since you got to Youngstown in the off season to prepare yourself for the coming season.
I think one of Coach Jackson's things that she wanted to work on from last season was just strength. So this summer and even up until this point, we've done a lot of lifting and I think we've gotten a lot stronger, which is good. Yeah. And then obviously the conditioning piece of it, we have conditioning. Well, in the summer it was every Monday. Now it's on Tuesdays or Mondays. But so just getting in shape and then kind of going over our transition game, trying to get a lot more easy buckets this year rather than having to set up and play. So kind of getting that part of our game down. And then as of late, we've been doing more plays, getting familiar with that type of stuff. So when we are in practice, when official practice finally starts, we're not clueless as to that part of it. So I would say that's a lot of what we've been doing. We haven't played a ton, and we haven't had a ton of team practices, but we have had a few, and then the rest is kind of individual groups, point guards, shooting guards. So all of that stuff, just kind of getting better as small groups.
Sure. Okay. So some of you played in the Mid-American Conference, obviously at Kent. Now moving to the Horizon League here. You've probably played a decent amount of some of the opponents you're going to take on this year. So is that kind of like going into that, is that good to have a little bit of familiarity with like some of your opponents as opposed to the unknown?
Yeah, honestly, it is nice because when I went to FGCU, I had no clue who any of those teams were. And I'm like, how am I supposed to feel a certain way when I know nothing about any of these people? So it is nice to have familiarity with some of the teams. Yeah.
And when you were at Kent or FGCU, did you guys play against Cleveland State when Coach Jackson was there?
No, we did not. I just only played against Coach Jackson at Akron.
At Akron. Yes. Oh, okay. When she was at Akron. Yes. That's correct. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Let me do a few rapid fire basketball things at you. So you can go in depth. You can answer real quick, whatever you want. All right. So would you rather a fast break or a half court set?
Fast break.
Yeah, it's easy. You're a point guard. All right. Here's a tough one, I think, because you sound like you're a good defender and you sound like you're a scorer. But would you rather be you could be only elite at one? What can you pick? Would you rather be a complete lockdown defender, or would you rather be an elite scorer?
That's tough. I'm gonna have to go with scorer.
Okay. I love to ask basketball players this because it's a weird question, but it's kind of fun. Hypothetical. It's not a fun hypothetical, but it's an interesting answer.
Okay.
Would you rather get blown out, or would you rather lose at the buzzer? Always curious about this answer. And anyone that's played basketball for 20, 15 years plus has been on both sides of this coin at some point, probably.
I would say lose at the buzzer, just because someone's watching a blowout game. It's not as fun. Everybody's going to be interested in the buzzer game, but that would be a really tough loss.
Yeah. I feel like that answer is about 50-50 because I think at least from a coach's perspective, you're like, if we got blown out, it just wasn't our night.
Yeah.
But if we lost at the buzzer, it could have been like one thing as a coach you should have done differently that maybe would have made a difference. But as a player, as a coach, it's not truly one thing that wins or loses a game. It's the entirety. But good answer. Favorite sound in basketball? There's a lot of sounds. What would your favorite sound be? It's a weird question. I know.
Asked that one before. Maybe like a perfect swoosh.
It's a good answer.
Yeah.
Okay. That's like that blot test. You ever see that when you're like, what do you see on this blot?
Yeah.
So, okay. Favorite player. You mentioned a few players, but your favorite player to watch play basketball?
Like ever?
Ever. Men or women, whoever.
Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant.
Okay. Now, you're a Michael Jordan. You said that's your favorite player ever?
Yes.
So you don't even want to entertain the LeBron Jordan debate?
I've been in lots of those debates, but...
Okay, so sell me on... Because I'm a Cleveland Cavs fan. But growing up, I also loved Michael Jordan. So I would only root against him when he played the Cavs.
Yeah.
But I think LeBron is the overall better basketball player. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why Michael Jordan is the best basketball player of all time.
I just think like he has 6 rings, right? I think that kind of says everything you need to. And I also think if I had a game-winning shot, who would you have take it? LeBron or Michael Jordan? Who do you think you would have take?
Oh, I'd have LeBron set it up and assist another teammate. So
I think that's the answer.
That's good. I like that. Very good. All right. Would you rather go on the road and silence a loud crowd with a shot, or would you rather hit a shot and get your home crowd pumped up?
Home crowd for sure.
Okay. All right. Are you a trash talker or are you a quiet assassin?
I'm not really a trash talker, but if someone does say something, I will say something back. I will never start it though.
Okay.
And I would be there for my teammates.
That's good.
If it needed to be.
Yeah. You gotta be there for your teammates. What's on your pregame playlist?
I like to listen to Eminem or Lil Wayne, so some rap stuff, and then I also like to listen to some stuff that will calm me down. So maybe some old music or some country or something like Adele, just some stuff that will calm me down.
It seems weird because you're so young, but like you're one of the oldest players on the team, probably. Yeah. So they're probably some of the players are probably like, "Who's Eminem?" That's great. NIL dream endorsement. If you could pick one brand, one company, one business, whatever.
That's tough. I would say maybe, man.
This is the question that stumped you.
Yeah.
The NIL one.
Maybe, probably like a car endorsement.
That's a good answer. Yeah. Okay.
I was thinking clothes, but I was like, a car. I think that would be so sick.
Okay.
Dream car type thing.
All right. Very good. And if you could pick one celebrity, male or female, to be your teammate, who would it be?
I would pick Kevin Hart.
Interesting.
So I would think I would get some great laughs out of him.
Okay.
So
okay. All right.
Seems like he would be a great teammate.
I like that. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. And I'm going to get you out of here on a couple more questions, but this year, Youngstown State women's basketball, 25-26, you have a pretty veteran team. And you guys have a lot of returning players, but a few new of you guys from the transfer portal. What should we expect from you guys heading into this season? Like, what kind of team? You know, I know you're still learning your teammates, your coaches, but what kind of team do you think we can expect to see this year out of the Youngstown State Lady Penguins?
I think you guys should expect a close-knit team that is hard-nosed and gritty. That's also our word, so I think we got to stand by it.
Yep.
Yeah. And just competitive, and I think we should win a lot of games. So
that's awesome. Okay. So grit, I saw you guys down there by whatever that, I think it was Barstool that came here a few years ago and did that mural back down there, but that's a great team motto to have. So gritty, that's very fitting for Youngstown too.
Yes.
So
yes.
What are your personal goals for this season?
I would just say, I mean, you said earlier I'm close to my 1,000 points, so that would be a great accomplishment. And then just kind of make my name known in the conference and just being a great leader to my teammates and helping them get better individually and winning.
For sure.
I put that above all things. So I don't think any personal goal would matter if we weren't winning. So
for sure. Great answer. So Casey Santoro, Youngstown State Lady Penguins. She's going to wear number 14 this year. Point guard, probably. Off guard.
Point guard.
So she's going to be a shooter, though, and she's going to be a lockdown defender. So she's going to be on the court a lot, and we're going to see her do some great things. So we wish you and your teammates the best of luck this season. One more time, like social media stuff. So maybe we can get some of those Youngstown Italian restaurants with an Italian last name NIL deal here.
Case_Santoro.
So reach out to her and let's make something happen.
Thank you for having me.
I have one question before you get out of here, if you don't mind. So
Yeah.
you said you were a big Caitlin Clark fan.
Yes.
So what is your thoughts on sort of how the rest of the WNBA has treated her or played against her? Like, is there a bias against her, do you think? Do you think people are just kind of out for it because they're jealous of her? What, just your overall thoughts on sort of the WNBA's reaction to her?
Good question.
I think it has gotten better, but I think at first everybody kind of wants what they can't have, and she brought a lot to the league, and I don't think the league would be what it is without her. I think it has gotten better, but I definitely think she got some hate and some shady things done to her, but that's personally what I think about it.
Would you be scrapping for her if you were a teammate?
Definitely. Definitely. I'll have her back.
Well, she's making everybody so much money too that I mean, I don't know how you couldn't. So well, Casey, we appreciate you coming in. And again, what you guys don't see, these guys are putting the work in the classroom, in the weight room, in the gym, you know, all the stuff. Get out and support these student athletes who are doing great things and, you know, supporting us down here at Youngstown State University. So Casey, we wish you guys well. Have a great season. Go Gwins. And again, open invite to you and your teammates. Come back and talk some hoops this season.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Everybody out there, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you for listening to this show on Youngstown Studio. This is original Youngstown content. Feel free to share our videos and tell your friends about us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel